we shift our focus to Sweden, where an Iraqi man who staged the burning of the Holy Quran several times was shot dead. Swedish media reported that the supposed Quran burner, Salwan Momika, the killing was streamed live on TikTok, and the shooting occurred hours before a court was set to deliver a verdict on Momika's anti-Islam demonstrations. So far, the Swedish police have arrested 5 people in connection with the shooting, but it remains unclear if the shooter was among those detained. Meanwhile, Sweden's Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson condemned the killing and linked an unmanned foreign country with the fatal shooting. The Prime Minister said that Sweden's security services are investigating the killing due to a risk of connection with a foreign power. So who is this foreign power which the Swedish Prime Minister has chosen not to name? In the past, Stockholm has named Iran and Russia as potential troublemakers in the country. Last year, the Swedish intelligence said that Iran was using criminal networks within Sweden to carry out violent acts against its groups and individuals. This came months after Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei suggested that Sweden had declared war on the Muslim world by protecting the now murdered Quran burner. Prior to that, in July 2023, when the row over the Quran burnings was at its peak, Stockholm accused Moscow of spearheading a disinformation campaign against it. The wave of Quran burnings in 2023, primarily led by the now-deceased Momika, forced Sweden to raise its terrorism alert to the second highest level. This came after Momika's anti-Islam demonstrations, publicized through social media, angered Muslims across the world. Muslim-majority countries across West Asia, including Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia and Egypt, strongly criticized the Quran burning and denounced it as shameful and provocative. In June and July of 2023, Iraqi protesters reacted by storming the Swedish embassy twice, starting fires within the compound on the second occasion. Baghdad later expelled the Swedish ambassador and suspended business with Swedish companies. In September of 2023, after a Quran burning was staged, riots erupted in Sweden's Malmö city. Several vehicles were set on fire after scores of people gathered in response to the burning. Now, the episodic violence in Sweden since then has kept authorities on edge amid rising incidents of gang violence, which Stockholm has linked with immigrants from Arab countries. Starting 2023, the repeated acts of Quran burning in Sweden has outraged several nations. What complicated the row was Stockholm's defense of these acts over its strong freedom of speech laws.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT. Only on Firstpost.
We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout the biggest Hindu mandir in. We're on our way to Tel Aviv. Pretty measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sheryl Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote efforts. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.